People will pay whatever you ask for something good. They don't want to pay anything for something bad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Appointment Photo. We're talking today to Rusty Carnes. He's the owner of Carnes Brothers Funeral Home in Galveston, and we're going to learn some lessons from Rusty today. So welcome, everybody. Okay, Rusty, could you please tell us more about your business and how you got started?
So I am now in business as of this Friday, 32 years. In 1990, my brother and I made up our mind to go in business for ourselves. We had a vision of what we wanted to become, how we wanted to be known in the community that we serve. And so we developed, of course, you have to have a business plan and put the financial matters together. We also had to secure a location, a building that ended up having to be completely remodeled, which is what we intended on doing to begin with. And it allowed us to create the design we wanted from an empty building. So it was really good. So everything that we did to start this business, my brother and myself, was to have a plan, to think through everything you did and plan it out, put it on paper, and run it by people to see how others think of your plan, to see if it would work. Because when you go to a banker to borrow money, you don't have to convince them that this can work. And so it did. We convinced the right people. We were able to get a loan, SBA loan, and build this building here that we are in now. We have, like I say, we've been in business 32 years, and we are number one, period. We compete with literally the oldest, most established funeral home in the state of Texas. 1868 is the date they claim for their beginning, and the other business was 1902. So we had good, stiff competitors when we went in business, but we went in it knowing that, and we went in with the purpose of being number one. So something that it's better for you to get in your mind from the beginning. It's easier to be number one than it is number two. If you're at the top, you will hear people say, "Oh, there's people always after you if you're at the top." No, on the way up, they're after number 2 and 3, and they got to climb their way up. And to get to you, if you're further enough up there, they won't be able to reach you. And it's really a safer place to be number one, honestly, as long as you're willing to do the work necessary to maintain that. And it is work, so don't make any mistakes. Being in business, competing with people who are already in your space, it's just about work, a lot of work. People say, "Who do you work for?" And if you're in business, you understand you work for everybody. Everybody's your boss. You're just an employee of the people. You're there to serve them, whether it's a service field that you're in, which funeral homes are service industry. We provide service. Or whether you sell products. Still, the people you sell to, you work for. They expect you to give them what they pay you for. And so you have to work to earn people's trust. You have to provide what you say you're going to provide, and you have to be better than everybody else. Now, you don't have to be cheaper than everybody else. There's plenty of people at the bottom, we call them bottom feeders, who, if I can just be cheaper than the guy next door, I'll get the business. That is not the case. People will pay whatever you ask for something good. They don't want to pay anything for something bad. So you might think your angle is to be the bottom feeder, and if that's your gig, go for it. Knock yourself out. Let me know how it works out. But I will tell you, after 32 years, it works better to be number one and just charge what it costs. Whatever it is, whatever your costs are. Do everything you can to keep your costs down. You want to be competitive, but give the best that you can give, whether it's in service or in merchandise or advice or whatever it is you're selling. Be the best at it, because it's easier to be the best. And we've proven it over the last 32 years right here.
Thank you. Thank you for that. During the last 32 years, have you had difficult times? And could you tell more about that? And if you could give us an example and tell us what the process was like.
Yeah. Have you had any difficult times while in business? Yeah. The difficult times are typically in the beginning years, okay, getting established, because it takes effort to be known. What it takes to be established and to be known is WORK, a lot of work. You have to be out there. You have to find every avenue possible to be known. You have to fill the marketplace with your name, with your product, with your service. And that just requires you being everywhere. And it requires spending a little money as well. Not only did we outwork everybody by being in every organization, every club, every fundraising event, every function, your face has to be there. It's harder to tell you no when somebody sees your face every day. If they don't see you and you're just obscure and hidden, okay, it's easier to go somewhere else where people see me. It's like in sales. If the person who typically does the best selling your business stuff, other vendors, is the person you see all the time. So be seen. Don't think you can do it, without being known and just being an obscure person. It's not going to work in a small business setting. And even larger businesses, they send salesmen out, just even if they're not selling anything, just to be known, so people know who you are. So once you get that established, it makes things a little easier. But until you get that established, sales might be slow. You have to really be efficient with the management of your resources. I would strongly encourage you to deny yourself for as long as you can and put it all in the business in those early years to get it established and get it off the ground. I also said you want to be in every medium possible. So it's not just you physically being someone and being seen and shaking a hand or what have you, but it's in the advertisement that's being offered. Now, when we first started, the major source of advertising was a newspaper. And what we found out is that is probably the most expensive, least effective advertising anyone can do. But that's all we had, and we had to use it. And of course, obviously, we did. Took a lot of resources away that we could have spent elsewhere, but you had to spend it in the paper. And we still spent a good amount there. But everybody knows that's not the most effective place. But at the same time, we also advertised in the communities that we serve. There's community groups, church groups, social groups that have little newspapers and newsletters and things like that they do, little fundraisers that you just have to be involved in every area you can get your hands in if that's your market. Now, if you don't sell those people anything, okay, move on, go somewhere else. But whoever you sell your stuff to, you have to be involved. Even Walmart donates to the local community, to little league teams and things like that. Even at that big a level, Walmart understands you have to be involved in that community that you're serving. And they do it. And that means you're going to have to as well. One advantage that everybody has seen this advantage, except for the newspaper, is the fact of social media. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, those kind of places that you can be talked about. You can be seen in those places. Obviously, the best is YouTube if you're talking about commercials. Totally effective and low cost. Boy, if I'd have had that in 1990, I'd have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars just by going on YouTube. But our YouTube channel, which Lexi here put together for us and made successful, it's just amazing. The people that can see you and how you can target them so easily on YouTube, as long as you have something to say that people are interested in hearing. It's not enough just to put a commercial. It has to be something people are interested in hearing. Now, the big guys are able to make funny commercials. and then keep somebody's attention for a good 20 seconds maybe. But they still have to play that commercial over and over and over and over and over again, maybe to get one sale. So you may not have the people who listening to me. You probably don't have that kind of money to do that kind of thing. Or maybe you're not creative enough to make a funny commercial. So if you're going to be on YouTube, and people will find it, believe me, they're going to find it, period. You want to have something that they're interested in hearing. You do need to be good at saying it, at speaking it, delivering the message, but it has to be something people want to hear, something that is useful in their life. Like hopefully your product, whatever you're selling, that's something that people are interested in. Then you need to be good at presenting it. Then you need to have somebody who has the equipment to make it at the highest level possible for the amount of money that you're going to be spending, which is not a lot. It's not even a lot compared to an ad in the paper today. It's nothing even compared to that, the cost. So I would highly encourage you, look at YouTube, look at a good videographer, somebody that puts it together, who knows what they're doing. Lexi, in my opinion, is fantastic. That's why we're with him. He's made us successful on YouTube.
Thank you, Rusty. We love working with you. If you need photos or videos done, please feel free to text or call us at 832-743-5487.
Back to the message. Make sure that whatever you're saying, people are interested in. Just because you're interested doesn't mean everybody else is interested. So you're going to have to make it interesting if you want them to be interested in it. And there's a lot of ways that you could say whatever it is that you need to say to make it more interesting. So think about it. Lexi has taught me to write down what you want to say in advance. One of our most successful commercials has been a talk on COVID and what the COVID pandemic was creating, especially in our industry, in the funeral business. You know, we were right on the front line there. And so we needed to bring people comfort, you know. We wanted to take care of the people, and a lot of people were not wanting to take care of people with COVID. There's a lot of funeral homes that shunned it and turned it away. There were some places that funeral homes weren't allowed to serve families in the way that they needed to be served for various spheres. So it was important for us to find out what the truth was, what the law was, what the health situation was, so that we could offer the most possible care for those families. And we did, and it greatly enhanced our business. I was able to share those things that I had researched and found out with the families on YouTube. And not only did I share it in English, but we had a girl that speaks Spanish that provided it in Spanish. So your market is bigger than just English, you know. I don't know what market you might be serving, but whatever that is, you need to have somebody that speaks in that language for those who don't speak English. It doesn't take that much more effort to do it in 2 languages or 3 languages if necessary. And people will find you, and people appreciate it when you can communicate in a language that they understand fully. You know, people are in America, okay, you got to know a little bit of English to get by, but it's more reassuring to the person who you're doing business with if you can communicate in a form that they can understand. So it's going to take just a little bit more to do that right. And if you cover those bases, it's going to make the hardships, the hard times, a whole lot less than it is today, than it was for me in the day.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yes, we've created over 5 campaigns, YouTube campaigns. So which one do you think was the most successful one, and why?
So I'm going to say the COVID commercial was the most successful because the most people watched it, and because it had information they wanted to know. They were looking for answers at that time, and I was able to bring it to them because I did the research necessary to give them good information. And so, you know, that was a long video, yet people still watched it because they wanted the information. We've done some other shorts where we show a lot of pictures of our place, and our place is, you see the pictures of it, you understand why we blew everybody away. So pictures, videos, that kind of stuff, colorful pictures are very good because people want to see things that are pleasant to the eye. So I'm going to say probably our video with showing our entire place was probably second best. It obviously was light. It wasn't as hard as the COVID talk, but the COVID talk was very necessary. People needed it. They wanted to know about it. And so that's what made it the most successful.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Rusty,
Yeah.
for joining us and talking about your business and explaining to the viewers how to be successful.
All right. Good luck to you.